What's up everyone, Mr. New2 Gamer, giving you guys another Call of Duty gameplay commentary. Today we're playing Call of Duty Ghosts. We're playing on the map Overlord, which, oh my god, these maps. Anyone who played COD Ghosts back in the day, you know just how awful these maps were. And this is considered one of the better maps in the game, and it's still trash. I mean, it's not as trash as Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare still has the worst maps in Call of Duty history. Terrible maps, terrible game. I'd still rather play Ghosts than Modern Warfare, but oh man, going back and playing these maps, it's really not fun, because there's just no flow to these maps, and you'll see in the gameplay exactly what I mean. There's just too much open space, which makes it really easy to just get shot and not know where the hell you're getting shot from. But the big problem with these maps were just that they were too damn big, and you'll see that in this gameplay that I spend half the time just running around looking for someone to shoot. It's just so goddamn frustrating. And you can see why so many people abandoned this game not even a few months after its release. They just said, fuck it, I'm done, I'm going back to Black Ops 2. And in my opinion, I think that's one of the big reasons why Call of Duty Ghosts failed. If you look at the actual sales, the game itself didn't fail. Activision made a shit ton of money off the game. And if you look at the best-selling games in Call of Duty history, Ghosts is actually number 4. It sold more copies than Black Ops 3 and Modern Warfare 2. So the game itself wasn't a failure. Maybe the title is misleading, but I can guarantee you that Black Ops 3 made a lot more money just on microtransactions alone than Call of Duty Ghosts, because people actually enjoyed playing Black Ops 3, and it actually retained a player base for years. When Infinite Warfare came out, everyone's like, fuck this game, I'm going back to Black Ops 3. I'm gonna stick with Black Ops 3 because Infinite Warfare, remember everyone called it a poor man's version of Black Ops 3? Now, I think that game was a little bit underrated, but you can see why people felt that way, and Black Ops 3 maintained a much higher player base than Infinite Warfare, even though Infinite Warfare was the newest release. And during the first 6 months of World War II, that game was a shit show. Guess what? People are still playing Black Ops 3 because they didn't like World War II. And the crazy thing about Black Ops 3 in 2020, you guys know the whole thing of my channel is that I go back, I play older games, and I tell you guys what it's like to play in modern day, you know, games that are 5 years old, 10 years old, even older. I like to go back and play old stuff and see how it holds up. Black Ops 3 holds up in 2020. I can play a game of team deathmatch, domination, search and destroy, and I don't even have to wait. I'm instantly in a game. Like, it's crazy how many people still play Black Ops 3 in 2020. There's no player count. Call of Duty Ghosts was actually the last COD to have a player count because they were so fucking embarrassed about how few people played that game. They decided to hide the player count for all Call of Duty games going forward. So Call of Duty Ghosts definitely did a lot of damage to the Call of Duty franchise. I know a lot of people who love the Call of Duty series. They love the Modern Warfare games. They loved Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2. Then when Ghosts came out, people were like, fuck this. This game sucks. It's boring. I'm done with Call of Duty. This shit is terrible. Like, a lot of people with Call of Duty Ghosts, they left Call of Duty because they hated that game so much. Now, you know, my personal opinions about Ghosts, I do think it got a little bit more hate than it deserved, but I can understand why people hated it. The maps, that's a big thing. And, you know, the crazy thing, most of my enjoyment out of Call of Duty Ghosts comes from the DLC. Without the DLC, I really fucking hate this game. But with the DLC maps, this game is actually really good. It has some of the best maps in the Call of Duty franchise, but it's DLC. And that's one of the other reasons why Call of Duty Ghosts failed so much. They tried to fix the game and make it better and make it more playable. But all of that content was locked behind DLC. The maps, the weapons, all the cool shit that they added in, you had to pay another $50 for a season pass. And people who already hated the fucking game already, they're not going to spend another $50 on the game that they already hate. You know what I'm saying? Even if there's amazing content that fixes the game and makes it a lot more playable, people aren't going to give it another chance, and they're certainly not going to pay to give it another chance. And I think that was honestly the big thing that killed the game, was that it was a time period before we had the live service, right? Like right now, if a game is shit or if it has a lot of problems, the developers fix it and put it into a free update. And, you know, we have maps and content and all that shit. It's all included for every player for free. So you look at Modern Warfare, right? All the maps they added in, all the weapons they added in. There was no season pass. They had a battle pass, but there was no $50 season pass that you had to pay in order to get new content. But back then, they still operated under season pass, DLC, and that was the big thing that hurt the game, because people who fucking hate the game and they wish they didn't spend $60 on it certainly aren't going to spend another $50 to get the amazing maps in the DLC. It's just not gonna happen. Even though, like I said, those DLC maps are some of the best I've ever seen in all of Call of Duty. And I've been playing Call of Duty for years. I played every single COD except for the ones on Nintendo DS and that awful one on PS Vita. Remember Black Ops Declassified? No one remembers. I don't know why I even brought it up. But it's true. Call of Duty Ghosts, the DLC maps, Bayview, Pharaoh, Mutiny, that pirate ship map. Oh my god. Dude, like, it's crazy. COD Ghosts was so bland and boring, but the DLC added so much color and vibrance that we desperately needed in that game. And the map flow was so much better. You never had a match that ended in a timer. The maps were nice, 3-lane maps, and each map felt unique. Not only in setting, but you had these special abilities. Remember the Michael Myers? You could play as Michael Myers with an axe in that, what was that map called? Fog? You had so many cool shit in that game, but most of it came with DLC, and that was the big thing that killed Call of Duty Ghosts. Look at the gun that I'm using in this gameplay. The Maverick. Guess what? It's a DLC gun. And the Ripper, that's another gun that's really cool, but you had to pay for it separately. So most of the people who bought the game, they couldn't experience all the things that made the game better. So people just abandoned the game. And people talk about a few other things they hated about Call of Duty Ghosts that made them stop playing, like the SATCOM replacing the UAV. People also didn't like that the time to kill was incredibly fast in Ghosts, but I don't think those two things really contributed that much, the fast time to kill and getting rid of the UAV, because you have Modern Warfare 2019, which is a really popular game. People love it. And that game has no mini-map, and an even faster time to kill than Ghost, and it has much shittier maps than Ghost too, so I'm not sure why that game did so well, and Ghost did not. I think maybe it's because Modern Warfare had a much better presentation to it than Ghost, because with COD Ghost, like, you could tell that Infinity Ward was going through a huge identity crisis. They didn't know what the fuck they wanted this game to be. You can tell they really wanted to make a Modern Warfare 4, but they didn't. They called it Ghost, but the whole Ghost is based off the character Ghost from Modern Warfare 2, so you can tell Infinity Ward had no idea what the fuck they wanted to make. They were trying to branch away from the Modern Warfare series, but they also tried to cash in on Modern Warfare by selling a game that was inspired by a Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 character. So, yeah, I don't know exactly. It's just so confusing about the direction of that game, and a lot of people just didn't understand what they were trying to do with that, but Modern Warfare, it was a reboot of Modern Warfare, and people loved Modern Warfare, so like, oh, I'm gonna buy that shit. And just the overall direction, the overall gameplay of Modern Warfare was more consistent than Ghost, because Ghost felt like a Call of Duty game. The core gameplay was the same as the other Call of Duty games that came before, but Modern Warfare 2019 was a complete revamp of the entire Call of Duty formula, that to the point where I would say that Modern Warfare is not Call of Duty. It's more like Battlefield and Rainbow Six Siege than it is a Call of Duty game, but at least it had that consistency, and people either hated it like I did, or they absolutely loved it. They loved, camping behind doors with claymores. They loved mounting their weapons and waiting for someone to come out so they could shoot them from 5 different directions. The people love that shit, and I have no idea why, but the thing is, Modern Warfare had a clear vision with what they wanted to do with that game, and Ghost did not. Ghost felt like a Call of Duty game, but the maps are so big, they just made absolutely no sense. At least with Modern Warfare, they had 10v10. They had certain things that kind of, the maps were terrible either way. I'm not trying to say the maps are good, but with the realistic presentation they were trying to do, where it's all about tactical gameplay and sitting in buildings the whole entire match, like, it made more sense for Modern Warfare than Ghost, I guess. Honestly, I think Ghost is a much better game than Modern Warfare, but I can understand why Modern Warfare was more successful. Because with all the changes that Ghost made from Black Ops 2, especially the map design, that turned a lot of Call of Duty players away, and it didn't really bring in any new players. But Modern Warfare, I would say that game pissed off even more OG COD players. All the esports pros, they fucking retired because of that game. What does that tell you? But it succeeded at bringing in new players, either with the Warzone Battle Royale, which was the big thing because it was a free-to-play Battle Royale. People love that shit. And it actually is a pretty good Battle Royale. So that brought in a lot of new players, but also the mechanics of the game. People who didn't play Call of Duty for years. I know a lot of people who hated Call of Duty, but Modern Warfare brought them back, except they don't like the traditional arcade Call of Duty gameplay. They're more tactical gamers. They love their Rainbow Six Sieges, their Insurgencies, Escape from Tarkov, games like that are more tactical, and you spend most of the time just sitting and waiting for someone to come out so you can shoot them, like you're just sitting in a building the whole game. Yeah, games like that, people who love those games, they come over to Modern Warfare and like, oh, this game is actually good. So that's the thing. Modern Warfare did a better job at bringing in new players than Ghosts, and that's why Modern Warfare succeeded where Call of Duty Ghosts failed. I'm sure if Battle Royale was a thing back then and Ghosts had a Battle Royale mode, it probably would have done a lot better. Because you know people didn't play COD Ghosts for Extinction mode, and as good as the campaign was, no one buys Call of Duty just for the campaign. They buy it for the multiplayer, but I guess now they play it for Battle Royale. Another thing I forgot to even mention, now that we're close to the end of the video, this just came to my mind. COD Ghosts also was released on so many different platforms that the player base got split up. It was on PS3, PS4, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PC, and Wii U. It was released on 6 different platforms, so the player base was split up, and that's why it's so hard to find a game in 2020, but that's also why the COD community in Call of Duty Ghosts, it wasn't so big, not only because people left the game, but because it was split up between so many different platforms that the game had a harder time at succeeding than other Call of Duty games that were released on fewer platforms. So I would say those are the main things that killed Call of Duty Ghosts and prevented it from succeeding. I think the terrible map design has to be one of the big ones, along with the player base being so split, either by season passes or being released on so many different platforms. And the fact that most of the improvements of the game came through DLC, that was a big thing that hurt the game and prevented it from growing or maintaining a player base over time, because not very long after Ghost was released, people abandoned that game and just went back to Black Ops 2. So even though the game didn't necessarily fail in terms of commercial success, it sold 29 million units worldwide, so I guess you can't really call the game a failure, but the multiplayer was definitely a failure. Absolutely, because people abandoned the game pretty quickly. I can guarantee you not a lot of people bought the DLC or the Season Pass, which means they also didn't buy the camos and all other shit that they were selling. So, yeah, Activision was definitely hoping to make more money off of Ghost than they ended up making. And Activision would definitely consider Call of Duty Ghost to be a failure, because if it wasn't a failure, then we would have had a sequel, right? So if you played Call of Duty Ghost back in the day and you fucking hated that shit, let me know in the comments why you hated it and why you think it failed. Also, be sure to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you want to see more. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys again later. Peace.